Alright, YouTube, we're doing a little more Dying Light 2 stuff, man. There's just a lot going on with this game right now, so I just gotta bust through it and try to work on some of the stuff that I want to work on when it comes to this game. The new update just dropped, so there's kind of a lot going on. Now, in terms of what's next for Dying Light 2, well, Techland is reaching out to the community and their players for feedback on what they should focus on going forward. Now, the recent tweet is from Timon. I'm not gonna pronounce his last name in this video. I embarrass myself, I can't do it. But this was just the other day, May 2nd, he reached out on Twitter. This is what he says: I need a small sanity check. It's been 2 months since the release of Dying Light Game, which I think it means Dying Light 2. I'm browsing Twitter, Reddit as much as I can to see you guys' opinions. But let's ask it directly. At this stage of the game, what do you need most? Question mark. What should we focus on? Question mark. Be honest and be precise. So guys, let's try to help Techland and Timon and other people at Techland, because he's not the only one that has actually said this, that they will change their plans or add things based on what the community wants. And this is the best way I can do it, is by making a video of it. I'm not big enough, right, to have like a 50-minute long interview with good old Timon here yet, but if you guys keep subscribing and liking my videos, maybe we'll get there. Now, if you don't know who he is like the lead designer. He's this lovely dude right here with the hearts above his head, and he's the one that's giving out all this information when it comes to the juicy details about DLCs and expansions and all this different stuff that a bunch of people, including myself, have made YouTube videos on. Now, we're going to get right into what we could do to help them, right? Give them some ideas on what they should do. And now we'll go through the Twitter responses first to this, just so we can kind of get a grasp on some of the things that the community is asking for. All right, this one right here is by Lee Robinson. A new big map to explore, because Villador and the Central Loop were fun at first, but now they still feel really small, and I've seen everything at this point. I'd love to explore outside of the walls and the countryside, or maybe a jungle-like environment like in Dead Island. Hey, I'm with you with a jungle-like environment and exploring a countryside, but you might have to wait for a DLC for this. Guys, let's try to keep it simple with the ideas and feedback, because they're looking for ideas for a direction for the game right now, but it's got to be like plausible, feasible, and realistic. I mean, this game is on like several different platforms. I mean, I feel like it's bursting at the seams. Every update and patch they do introduces more bugs and stuff, so we're going to try to keep it simple with the ideas that we can do to try to help Techland. All right, next up is Rhino. Removal of guns, rework grappling hook, get rid of the over-the-top ragdoll physics, man, sorry. Rhino, I don't think the next step or next phase for Techland should be removal of guns. If anything, they should probably add guns, in my opinion, but that's debatable. I guess we can always talk about that later. All right, what about Shadow0922? He says, number one, character customizations, different complexions, the ability to remove mods or at least level the mods up while they're equipped. You should be able to climb up the grappling hook after leveling it, and the Night Runner's hideout should have a stash. I actually like this. I like number one the most, character customizations, and the Night Runner hideouts, they should definitely have a stash in it, so he is right, he is on point with that. And lastly is Bryce Kitson. Okay, this is probably the highest rated comment too, with people responding to this whole thing. He says legend ranks and skill trees straight up. In my opinion, any new content that you add doesn't feel nearly as satisfying if I'm not getting any stronger or more upgraded while I'm playing it. He's 100% right. I feel like Techland has kind of missed the boat with this. They got 2 skill trees right now, so yeah, skill trees is definitely, I would say, up there, number one on the list, Techland, and character customization and more weapons, which I'm definitely pulling for. So Bryce Kitson definitely right on point with this one. Techland needs to listen to this, add a legend skill tree, different skill trees. Let's pull up Dying Light 1. You can see all the different skill trees right here. Oh shit, it's not even in English, but it don't matter, you get the point. They had a bunch. They had, like, even when they added the driving skill tree, I mean, there's like 4 different skill trees, so Dying Light 2 only has 2. They definitely need to add more skill trees, and this is something I think they are working on, guys. So again, any feedback or ideas, you like this, that's fine, but I think they're already working on this. Another thing a lot of people were asking for is PvP, but again, I think they are working on PvP stuff. Mr. Timon has already kind of confirmed that. All right, guys, let's move on from Twitter and get back to YouTube here. We're like 4 minutes into this video. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Personally, I feel like Dying Light 2, or Techland rather, has kind of missed an opportunity when it comes to what gamers want and what gamers need to keep them playing their game and keep them interested. Yes, you need like a good game loop that's going to keep you coming back, and you can get that from either like character customizations of different outfits that people need to get, or loot or weapons, whatever that they need to get, but you can't just give it to them. Like, just don't make everything available to the trader or make everything super easy to get. Now, these events that they want to do and that they're doing in May are cool, and we love all the events that they did with Dying Light 1 and stuff that they're trying to do for Dying Light 2, but Techland, you got to add some unique rewards to these events. You got to add some unique rewards to this stuff. All right, one thing I think Techland could do, like right now, and it's like super easy for them to do, is change the weapons that are in the loot pool. I do like the steps that they took, right, with the recent update and the new legendary encounters and the new legendary rarity, but what's up? Techland, with the weapons that are in the loot pool. They're actually horrible. They're like the same 10 weapons over and over. The Enzo Katana, the freaking stick, the root stick, the axe. It's like the same one, so that's cool. But we need some new weapons, and some people are really trying to farm this stuff. They're trying to go to the traders and find some really cool weapons, and they're finding purple ones. Like, give us a chance at least to get the Daggers of the Night legendary and a lot of these other weapons. There's actually a ton of weapons in this game, so I think Techland is completely missing it when it comes to the whole loot in the game. Real quick, let's just list off some of the weapons that are in the game. Shark Teeth, Stopgap Machete, Barcode Machete, Hacksaw, Warsaw, Paper Cutter, which I think you can get. What about the Shoelace Machete, the Dirty Cleaver, the High-Tech Cleaver, the Broken Shovel, the Painful Axe, the Executioner Axe? A lot of these weapons, right, you cannot get a legendary version of. The Golden Knuckles, the Squash Knuckles, the Factory Line Knuckles, the Ice Pick Claws. Like I said, the Daggers of the Night is a weapon that people are trying to get. The Grinder, Walking Stick, even the freaking Tin Can, the Bolted Mace, the Angry Trish. There's a lot of cool weapons in this game. Techland, you gotta switch it up. Remove the cap on our stash. They capped it at only being able to hold 50 weapons. Now I get it, like Dying Light 1 was unlimited, and it would glitch the game out a little bit and be long loading times, but who cares? Like, remove the cap, or at least increase it to like 200, and add some new weapons to the loot pool. Now, if you want to do some like events and add some of these weapons, like a legendary version of some of these things into these events, I'm all for that. So, but Techland, you got to change the loot, man. You got to change the stuff that's in the loot pool. It is just not great. People want to get really rare weapons. That's what gamers want. They want rare weapons. They want rare gear. They want to be able to farm this stuff. Your game is a looting game, right? It's not just killing zombies in an open world game. It is a looting game. So act like you know what you're doing and give gamers what they want, some stuff to try to farm, some stuff to try to get. All right, moving on from the loot that they could change real easily, Mr. Timon and everyone at Techland. What about adding some bounty missions? I think that would be really cool. They had this in Dying Light 1, but they're not in there yet for Dying Light 2. At these different settlements, you'll see like on the boards or whatever, different bounty missions that you could pick up. And what's really cool is the different factions that are in this game, and some of the bounty missions they could actually introduce. So for instance, if you go to the PK base, you may find one that is like a PK went AWOL and you gotta hunt him down. Or there may be a badass legendary renegade who's on the loose and you gotta hunt him down and kill him, and you'll complete the bounty. They could definitely do a lot of different missions. Now, some of this stuff will require some voice acting and some work that they gotta put in, but I don't think it's anything too tremendously hard for them to do. So I think bounty missions is something they could add that will definitely give us some new content and some stuff to do in game. All right, and my last idea, guys, is based off a video that I already did about Aiden getting his own base. Now, like I said, I want to keep it somewhat simple for them, right? And not too complex. And when you talk about base building and getting your own base, there's definitely some work that they're going to have to put in to make this happen. But Mr. Timon, you were the one that said this. You're the one that said, post-launch update, we may add survival mechanics at base building. And actually, that's another thing, since it's on my mind, is bring back the survival mechanics. Bring back the content with the animals that we were going to be able to hunt for resources. That is a really good idea. Bring it back, okay? But when it comes to Aiden get his own base, what I propose is this, okay? Aiden could craft a bed, all right? See this? We went, and look at these pictures, man, from Dying Light 1. We went from sleeping on a mattress to basically sleeping on wood. So they were not much of an upgrade. So what I'd like to see is you be able to craft a bed. Now look at the map, guys. I'm going to pull up the map on Dying Light 2. It's actually colorful and beautiful, all these different locations. But hey, what if there's a trader they added into Dying Light 2? There's already a bunch of traders. It would be hard to add one in. Boom, here's the new trader. This is the real estate trader. So you go to him, you can actually buy a little piece of land. Like, take a look at some of these apartments. Guys, in this game, most of the apartments in the big buildings and the skyscrapers are all the same asset that they reuse. They're empty. The only one taking up the space is the zombies, and they're freaking sleeping during the daytime. So this new trader can sell you certain locations. Techland can maybe start with like 5 preset locations that they decide that you can actually buy as real estate, basically just a little apartment. So the zombies will be cleared out. Once you buy this from the trader, your little plot of land or your little apartment, whatever, that little spot Techland needs to clear out so the zombies don't spawn there. What can they add in terms of just other than like a bed and for your base? Well, it's base customizations, okay? We don't have to build anything crazy, but they can add blueprints into the game for decoration. So you get your own little base, you can lay down your bed, and it's like maybe a spawn point, whatever, and your stash is there. But what about different decorations? I really love the idea of weapon racks on the walls, outfit mannequins, basically, where you can put your different outfits and all this gear you're collecting on instead of just sitting in the stash. They could do posters, so they can add all this stuff during events. They could add it as blueprints that you find and you can craft some of this stuff and put it up in your base, it would open up a huge opportunity for a bunch of new content when it comes to their little set bases, the little spots that Aiden can live in, okay, that you buy. Basically, you got to save up some money, whatever, buy a little apartment, and they can add a lot of customizations. As maybe it's a lamp, right? It's a special event and they want to add a Dying Light 2 Stay Human lamp, or a different, there's so many different things, the possibilities they could do with that. So what should they focus on next, guys? You guys let me know, right? I gave you guys my ideas. I talked about some of the stuff on Twitter and what they're looking for. You guys give it to me. Leave it in the comments. Stuff that is realistic, stuff that they can actually do, that's not going to cause too much chaos to the freaking game that's almost like broken at this point. Hopefully they will fix. Should be an update or a patch coming soon. But let me know what you guys think of this. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Drop a like for me. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys soon.